it's time for Atlanta.
I know, you're so excited about this.
It's one of my favourite shows. I'm really sorry. I was just saying to you, I'm full of snot because it's summer. Well, spring, and that means in my job, it's time for the hay fever. So I'm full of crap, and I was blowing a load of dust today. So that's not like a euphemism for snorting a load of coke or whatever. I legitimately had a backpack blower on, and it was kicking up a load of dust, and it's all gone in my lungs, and now I sound disgusting.
Anyone would think that she just find a different job.
Not be a gardener? It's surprising how many people have said that to me today.
Oh, I mean, I've already said it twice, and we've only been talking for like 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Yeah, I'm excited about this one because it's legit, featuring Jim Jeffries, who's one of my favourite stand-up comedians, and Atlanta, which has got Donald Glover in it, who's, I think he actually might just be my favourite person.
Oh yeah, because it's so hard to say like he's my favourite something because he does just a little bit of everything.
He's my favourite actor, singer, stand-up comedian, rapper, tap dancer, skateboarder, bricklayer. I'm sure he's done that in his time.
He's done a lot.
He can do anything. And recently he had that "This Is America" come out, and everyone was going mad for that and going, "Oh, well, the symbolism means it's this and such," and I was one of those fucking idiots.
So was I. I mean, deep down, the symbology is just you can dance in front of tragedy and it's fine. It's all that
if that's what you took away from it.
I don't read too deeply into music videos.
Which one would you like to start with? Are we going for legit or Atlanta?
I would be surprised if we could hold back your love of Atlanta any longer. And I'm not going to try and make you.
Oh, alright then. Basically, so Atlanta starts with Earn, who's played by Donald Glover. He is struggling for cash. That's a theme that runs throughout the series. He's living with the mother of his baby girl, and they kind of have a relationship, but they kind of don't. Like in this episode, she goes on a date, and he's a little bit hurt by that. And there's other things later in the show where she is in a similar situation, finds herself jealous when she finds a picture on his phone of this girl. So to try and make some money, he finds out that his cousin is now a rapper, under the moniker Paperboy, has released this mixtape, and it's starting to blow up underground. So he goes and proposes he become his manager, and that's where we start off.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a pretty good summary of the whole episode, really.
Thanks very much.
Because a lot of it is just mostly him walking from place to place, and his parents being like, "You can't come in this house." Does that ever get explained? Why, like, he's not allowed?
Well, I can't afford it. I think the implication is because he goes there asking for money a lot.
Oh, I thought it was
when
like
his dad says,
just don't come in this house.
No. It's just when he says, "Can I come in?" His dad says, "I can't afford it." So I think that's what it comes from. Oh, I'm really sorry.
That makes a lot more sense. But no, I actually really liked it.
Good. That makes me happy. Darius as well. He's probably my favourite character in the whole thing because he's just so fucking mental. But what he says, there's this sort of running joke where he'll say stuff that's completely mental, but if you read into it a little bit, he's actually saying some stuff like that's quite deep, and like he predicts the future in a lot of the episodes. He says stuff that's sort of relevant to what's going on in the episode. Like there's the episode in the club, which you need to go on and watch.
I know, I'm planning on watching it depending on how much you tell me of what happens. If you tell me too much,
this is the thing. It's episodic, but there is sort of an overarching narrative, but there sort of isn't as well. It's like you could pick any one episode and watch that in any order, and you pretty much it doesn't matter.
So I guess like the so each episode stands on its own enough that you don't need to watch them in the right order.
Yeah, completely. There's one brilliant episode that follows his I don't know what it's called. What, Vanessa, this girl that she's living with, he's living with. Sorry. There's one episode that follows only her, and that's a brilliant episode. It's one of my favourites. But no, it's just so good, and I think there's levels to it that I don't particularly understand, but I can understand why. Like that, I can understand that they are saying something which I don't fully understand myself, but there's a lot of meaning to it. It's an odd one. It's almost like well, there's elements of like surrealism and like surrealist comedy quite a lot. In the club episode, there's like one because in that episode, Ern keeps trying to grab hold of this manager who's not paying them, and he keeps disappearing, like running away from him in increasingly funny and bizarre ways. And I won't tell you the main one because it's real funny, but it's really good at like representing social media as well, because there's one episode where Paperboy's having Snapchat beef with this guy, and it's not like in that, you know, in that really shit way that when you see in a film or a TV show they Google something, but it's called like Flargle, and that's their search engine that they use. It doesn't do that. It does it in quite a realistic way.
I guess it has to, because it seems to be more of a... Because I guess Earl is basically just trying to cash in on someone else going viral. That's the impression I get from episode 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's the bit where he says, you know, man, I haven't seen you since my mum's funeral, and the first words you say to me is, let's get rich. And I was like, oh, that's a fantastic line. But because it sort of proves that is what he's trying to do, but then he does make good with it by getting the radio station to play Paperboy's tape. And the other weird thing is, because at the start and the end of the episode, you see Paperboy shooting someone, but nothing really ever comes of that. Like, it's mentioned in later episodes, and in fact the second episode they spend the night, it's all based in a police station, but they never get charged with anything, which is kind of odd. I just did a quick Google as to like,
I don't think you actually see who shoots in the first episode.
I suppose you don't, do you?
No, because I had no idea who did it. It's very vague.
Yeah, I've never thought of that actually, because it's a crane shot, isn't it? And you don't actually see which of them shoots.
I don't even remember if you see much of the shot at all, because you don't see anyone get hit. It's just a...
No, you see the gun go off, but
yeah, you see and hear the gunshot and then nothing. Which I guess is a good way of like them being like, oh, that would actually ruin the show a bit if one of these guys was in prison.
Well, no, I think it really what I loved about it is it shows me a world that I've had, you know, no sort of context or connection to. Like, you know, I have no idea what it's like being a black man in America, but I think the show sort of gives you not a general overall idea, but it just gives you little snippets of stuff that, you know, I've never had to think about. It's like, you know, have you seen Get Out?
No.
Is it the very early scene in Get Out where Dan Kaluuya's character, I can't remember his name, he says to his girlfriend, oh, you know, we're going to meet your parents this weekend. Do they know I'm black? And it's like, I've never had to consider anything like that in my life, and I don't know, it's just...
No, and there's a lot. It's
just
like,
a window into a completely different world.
And there's like a lot of that other side of like just American culture in general as well that I don't think. I think this seems to be more of like a more real take on just like poor American people.
Yeah.
Rather than, because
right.
it seems to be like in a lot of other things, it's kind of almost glamorous in some way, but this kind of makes it look shit.
Yeah, yeah, completely. Like, but I would level that criticism at British TV. Like, I'm not sure that, you know, young working class men are represented on telly. Not as particularly not in comedy.
No, I mean, I don't know if this for the most part, this sits somewhere between comedy and drama. It's not. I don't think it's really one or the other. It's like
I think
drama.
it takes. Yeah, no, please, never. I think on multiple viewings, because I've watched the whole series like a few times. It's a lot easier to pick up on the humour of it rather than seeing, you know, the drama. It took me a little while to sort of tune my ear to it, if you like.
Yeah, which after the first like half-hour episode, I haven't got that down. I can spot the easy ones, spot the easy jokes.
Yeah. Well, like there's a recurring thing with Darius. It only happens a couple of times, but it still makes me laugh. Is like any time that there's a games console or something, whenever they're playing the game, they're always playing Zoo Tycoon.
I like that.
There's a bit where Darius is just like running around as a chimpanzee.
Zoo Tycoon is a woefully underrated game.
I don't think you've ever played it.
I like that sort of game though. But no, I really like it. I'm probably going to keep watching it, and I guess you've already seen it.
I don't think you should. It's actually started on the BBC now. It's on Sunday
I
nights.
found that out after I bought the first episode on Amazon.
Paid for it.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm half tempted just to buy the rest of the series on Amazon and just watch it. Like,
I did.
Sooner rather than later.
I did, and I'm going to do that for Series 2, but that doesn't come out for another month, I don't think. It's already out in America. Apparently there's a horror episode.
Interesting.
So that'd be interesting to see. Oh, there's a great episode where Justin Bieber's in. This is Series 1. There's Paperboy is at this charity basketball game, and then...
Do they kill Justin Bieber?
This...
Because...
Not quite.
I really rate TV shows that kill Justin Bieber. Because CSI did it.
Do you know any... Do you know anything about what I'm about to tell you then? Weird that you bring up Justin Bieber, because at this charity basketball game...
Well, no, you mentioned
shows
Justin
up.
Bieber.
Did I? When? Just now?
You mentioned Justin Bieber.
I have no memory of that. Yeah, Justin Bieber shows up at this charity basketball game. He's played by a black guy. And it's never like commented on that Justin Bieber's black. It's just in this universe, Justin Bieber's a black guy. I mean, he's still a little dick. But
interesting. Yeah, this seems like one of those shows that'd be very easy to just binge watch.
Oh yeah, easy. Because especially where it's only like half hour.
Yeah, I've been saying that literally over the last 3 days. I've watched like the whole of season 2 of 13 Reasons. So I'm really into my binge watching at the moment.
I haven't really binged anything in ages. But yeah, Atlanta is fucking great, and you should all go and watch it. And if we didn't have the rules that we have, this would be in my top pilots.
Well, it won't be. I actually just really like the font of the logo as well.
Oh, that pops up in different places. Like in one of them, it's like stitched onto someone's jeans or something, and then someone spills something. Oh, that's it. It's in the condensation that's left by a glass or something. And yeah, it's interesting how they come up with ways of displaying that.
It's like a watermark. Just like, this is our show. Yeah. You can't steal these scenes.
Yeah. So that's Atlanta. Oh, excuse me. Should we do legit?
Yeah. The thing is, like,
go legit?
Since you finished watching fucking Gilmore Girls, we've got no segues now.
Oh yeah, well, I suppose we could... wait, no, because the last time we recorded, we hadn't finished it, had we? Because now we've completely finished it.
We recorded. It was the announcement of the death of the segue.
Yeah. Oh well, never mind.
What are you watching in your spare time now? Is it nothing?
Not really. I mean, I'm sort of working my way through Riverdale slowly.
Oh, that's cool. I think I've watched the second episode of that, but I got distracted like halfway through and was like, okay.
I think I'm on like episode 7 or something, and it's still shit and melodramatic and over the top, but I still really like it. It's really odd.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm working my way back through Brooklyn Nine-Nine after it was cancelled and uncancelled. That was a weird 2 days.
Mm.
Did you see some of the people who were coming out and like being like, "Hey, no, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, don't cancel that."
Was it a lot of people?
I'm just thinking of like the notable people that I remember seeing tweets. Like Mark Hamill was like, "No, don't cancel Brooklyn Nine-Nine." And I was just like,
I mean, if Luke Skywalker,
I was like, he's getting a guest star because he just did a guest star in the finale of the latest season of Big Bang Theory.
Did he?
Yeah. To like, it was Amy and Sheldon's wedding.
Who's Amy?
Sheldon's girlfriend.
Do you remember how much I hate Big Bang Theory?
But I'm still gonna keep telling you about it. But Will Wheaton was gonna do the officiating, and then Mark Hamill came in at the last minute and was like, "I'll do it." There was more.
Wow.
I think there was more to it than that. And Will Wheaton was just like a saucy little child that was very entertaining. So I've really got like high hopes for your wedding. Like, who's gonna come officiate it?
Yeah.
Which which celebrity are you finding?
It's being officiated by Stormtrooper number 37.
It's being officiated by Lauren Grave.
Oh wow, that'd be good.
Yeah. So legit.
It's being officiated by Jim Jeffries. Oh yes, talking of Jim Jeffries.
Would you want him to officiate your wedding?
I mean, I would, but I'd expect like
A shit wedding.
yeah.
Like, you wouldn't end up married. You just like somehow talked Lisa out of it, rather than talking you out of it.
Sorry, I'm having a massive sneezing fit.
That's fine.
Sorry, my face exploded, so we had to stop.
Yep. But you won't even know that because I can't just leave
No.
in what I was doing in the background.
Also, why? What were you doing?
No, I was just sitting in silence, so it would just be a
Oh,
solid
okay.
like minute or two of just both of us just being really quiet.
But also, while that happened, an Amazon delivery turned up, but I didn't think it was going to because it's Lisa's birthday tomorrow, and it contains some presents.
Ooh, is it episode 2?
No, strangely enough. I have plenty of copies of those, though.
That's good. I know you were going through selling stuff, and I'm glad they've survived.
Oh no, like, they nearly went, but I thought, I can't get rid of them, they're too special.
And do you know what I would do? Just replace them.
Buy them all. Oh, I thought you'd buy them off us and then send them back.
I would.
Right,
in fact,
so yeah,
but
legit.
you know I was doing that because you'd have to fucking send
that's
them
true.
to me.
Yeah, legit. So, legit. What's legit? Is it legit? What's legit?
It's a TV show for sure.
That's handy because we talk about
Yeah.
them.
It's the first episode of the TV show that I feel is based loosely on Jim Jeffries' very like family-friendly stand-up comedy that he does. All of his shows are for Universal. Like, anyone can watch them. Like, it's cool. Everyone should watch them because they're fucking.
In fairness, everyone should watch them because he is a genius.
Yeah, he's like just an angrier Jack D. Because he's miserable as well as angry.
Also funnier because Jack D, I don't find that funny. He went to my school, by the way, Jack D.
Oh, did he?
And my college.
Oh, did he?
He did.
That explains why he's not as funny as he could be.
Hey. Yeah, so it's based on Jim Jeffries stand up, and in the first episode it tells the story of how he took his best friend who suffers from muscular dystrophy and is paralysed from the chest down, He takes him to a brothel because he wants to lose his virginity, because he's, as he says in the show, 32 years old and he's never been with a woman.
Yeah.
It's quite a famous routine of Jim Jeffries. But yeah, so the whole idea of the show, the reason it's called Legit, is because he has a phone call right at the start with his mum, and I thought this was odd. Like, he feels he needs to go legit, sort of in quotation marks. I don't really know what that means.
I think he describes it as his mum being like, "You're not on TV in Australia. You're not legit." I think his goal is just to get on telly.
Well, because it sounds like but in this he's like, oh, I need to try and be a better person. So I don't know if it's just like a self-improvement thing.
Maybe he's seeing that if he improves his like public image, more people will like him. So then he'll end up on television.
That's true.
But I fucking love this show. Like, I've still only seen the first episode.
Yeah, I've only ever seen the first one.
But I really like it because it's just Jim Jeffries humour, but with visuals.
Yeah, that's, I think, my problem with it. Thing is, I know, like, I've watched a lot of Jim Jeffries, and the few shows that you can watch, like, that he recorded, I've seen them all multiple times. So one of my biggest problems with this is, and I don't know if this goes on for the rest of the series, I knew every comedy beat, so I didn't laugh, because I've already laughed at it, but just as he's telling it as a story. So him telling a sort of 5-minute, 10-minute story stretched out over a 30-minute show kind of just... Do you know what I'm trying to say? It just sort of... It made it too long.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I think the thing I like about it is it adds in basically voices for the other characters, and you get to see a bit of like, I guess it's just sort of filling out a much shorter story into something just a bit longer. And like, the thing I enjoyed it because I've watched a lot of Jim Jeffries, but luckily I don't know. I think luckily for this show, I don't know the show inside out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know every show.
I guess that's it. Like,
I know a couple of them, like a lot better than the others, but
like, I guess if you're a newcomer, if you went in this completely blind and you had no idea who Jim Jeffries was,
you would not enjoy the show. I feel like you would fully not enjoy the show. I feel like you have to have enough awareness to understand that this is Jim Jeffries' style of comedy, but I guess not enough that you've memorised every show.
Yeah. You
need to be in this like sweet middle ground.
I think that's probably where I'm saying that, as that's my problem with the show. I guess I mean that literally. It's my problem. It's not the show's problem, because the show itself is well put together and it is, it does tell a funny story and that. So to that end, I suppose it is successful at trying to be funny. It's just the trouble is you've already
seen the funny.
Yeah.
Which I guess is maybe why there's only 2 seasons of it. Because I guess maybe...
Well, perhaps, yeah.
I imagine the first episode would get a lot of people being like, oh, what's this? And then you'll get people like yourself probably turning off after episode 1 and being like, well, I'm not going to watch this if it's just all his jokes again, but longer. Because that's what the stand-up DVDs are for. But I guess if you know it enough to be like, it's probably not that offensive.
Yeah.
Then you can sort of go, okay, this will be fine. And like, I think I like the show because it's something that I imagine you can't take very seriously. Because there's always a question of like, how much of this is true and how much of this... Because that's the one sort of issue I have with Jim Jeffries, is that occasionally you can't tell what's true and what's embellishment.
Yeah, I suppose.
But
I
that's
mean,
true of a lot of comedians.
yeah, I think probably every comedian, I guess. But
I suppose, yeah, because someone standing on stage talking about that in real life probably isn't that interesting.
I know. I think that's right. DJ Qualls, the guy who plays Billy, the guy who's paralysed. I heard an interesting thing because Jim Jeffries was on the Nerdist podcast talking about this show, and he said DJ Qualls has lost his virginity on screen something ridiculous like 4 or 5 times. He said he went up to him and said, that's a look. You have the look of a guy who's never been fucked about you. But they're good actually. The Nerdist podcast with Jim Jeffries from a few years ago. They're really, really good. I really recommend listening to them. Actually, he was on Joe Rogan as well. That was good. But he's gone mad now. Like, he's got his own TV show in America, like a talk show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's huge because they were airing it when there was another shooting, and of course he has a huge bit of material about gun crime. Yeah, and he was getting to react sort of in the same week to it. He's done pretty well for himself, to be fair. Because he started out doing stand-up in, he lived in London.
Yeah, he lived in Manchester for a bit as well, I think.
Yeah, that's where he got. He tells one story about how his
got
house got
attacked by
broken
a
into.
guy with a machete. It's part of his gun control bit.
Does he mention it in that then?
Yeah. Because he's talking about how would you be ready in that situation? Would you sleep with a holster?
Oh yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I need to watch Jim Jeffries. The thing is, I might actually just watch the rest of this. Because
I wouldn't mind watching it, but I don't know. It was kind of slow, like I said, because I knew it. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that probably just episodes about jokes that I've forgotten.
That's true.
Although I've got a feeling it might actually
Yeah.
just be more stuff with him and Billy, sort of going around just doing insane shit.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
So maybe they use
I
the joke
did
as
like
a
it.
way to get you into it, so that you had like a point of reference for that, and then it just goes somewhere else, and just Jim Jeffries trying to be a better person but fucking it up ultimately.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine that's probably where it goes. But no, I liked it. I did like it. It's just, I'd see before. Maybe I'll watch a couple more just to get a
that's
feel
what I'm
for
thinking, maybe
if it is literally verbatim his stand-up act.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it could be, because his shows jump around a lot, so it wouldn't make for a good series. It'd make for a good like one-shot things.
Yeah, like Atlanta is kind of.
Or like an Inside Number 9 sort of as well.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was good. I did like it.
Yeah, it's nice when we just get a couple of shows that we just kind of like. They're just good.
It's just actually quite good. Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. So next episode then, we're going back to our
We're going back to the crime.
detective-y roots. So we've got Law and Order, which I only know of because in Ted 2, is it? They sing the theme tune.
Yep. Criminal Minds.
And Criminal Minds, I don't know what it is.
It's like
But yeah, should be fun.
Law and Order, I think, is more of like a. They do like lawyer stuff.
A legal thing.
They like
Yeah.
the legal, and I guess there is some of that like policing side of it. And Criminal Minds is more psychology stuff. Hence the minds in the title. But it's a lot more like, I think it's a lot more about like criminology and that sort of thing.
That would make sense. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I guess until
Well,
then.
Richard, as ever, it's been a pleasure.
Maybe for you.
Brilliant. Let's go play Overwatch.
Yes.
Bye.